Hi everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Claire and I am the face behind the brand OK Doodle, which is basically where I doodle my brain and then I turn those doodles into gift shop treats for you to enjoy over on my Etsy channel. So today we are talking about Etsy tips. One question I get asked a lot on my Instagram, on my Patreon, and in general is all about Etsy. So I thought I would put together a list of 10 tips to help you with your Etsy business. So yeah, welcome to the video. I hope you enjoy it. If you do, please give it a big thumbs up. Leave a comment below and let me know if you are on Etsy so I can check out your shop. Yes, so let's get straight into it. Okay, so tip number one is to pick a business name. Probably the most important part. You want your business name to be something that is memorable, on brand, and not too long. So yeah, I personally picked my brand name for those three reasons. I feel like it is memorable, it has the word doodle in it, so it kind of gives a feel for what my brand is. It's not too long and it's fun. I just really like my business name. So yeah, I know a lot of people like to just use their name, which is also a good idea because as you grow as a business, sometimes people just like to change to their first and last name. So to start off with something that has your name in is also quite a good idea. I wouldn't go for anything that has absolutely nothing to do with what you sell or what you do at all, because that's confusing to your customer. So yeah, memorable, on brand, not too long. So the second tip is about your products. Obviously if you're on Etsy, you are looking to sell a product or a digital download. I personally just sell physical products on Etsy, so I'll be talking to you about physical products. I would say you need to find your niche as soon as you can. Your niche is basically kind of like the subject of what you are selling. So for me, my niche is mental health, stationery, and cute kawaii kind of style. That is my niche. I already know who my market audience are, so it's people who also have mental health problems and like cute stationery basically. I have made the mistake before of being too broad with my products, so I like to try my hand at everything. So obviously I've done like business logos and things that I put on stickers. I've done foiling, I've done I used to do mugs, sublimation, heat pressing, all like garments and things like that, and it was just too much in my store and nobody really knew what they could find if they came to my shop. So I niched right down, looked at my shop, took the things that people seem to come back to buy or my best sellers, and kind of niched down into a smaller range of products. So now I do things like postcards, stickers and badges. Those are my main three products, and I've just added to that enamel pins, which I think goes hand in hand with the rest of the products that I've niched down into. So I would say I am a small stationery shop. Okay, so my third tip is to work out your pricing. There is a very big misconception that if you price cheap, you're going to get more customers. That's actually very wrong, and something I have personally done. You know, as a shopper, you do like to find like the best offer you can get, but usually if you're buying cheap, you're also getting cheap. It's not all the time, but mostly. seems to be what happens when you look for like the cheapest option. What I would say is you need to make sure you're making a profit, because it's not worth it if you aren't making a profit on your items. So for example, my postcards are £2, but I offer free postage. So the £2 for each postcard goes to cover my materials, my Etsy fees, and my postage and packaging. Now I know £2 seems very low, but when I buy my postcards, I buy them in a big quantity, which therefore costs me less, which means I can sell them off at that price and still make a profit. There are some really handy calculators around on the web where you can enter in how much something costs you to buy, the materials, the Etsy fees, and your time, and it will give you a roundabout figure of what you should be charging. I will leave a link in the description to a calculator like that if you want to check that out, because they are really, really handy, especially if you know the breakdown of all your costs. So the next tip we are going to talk about are your pictures. Now, your pictures on Etsy are what really sells your product. It is the first thing that anybody sees, and it is what is going to get people to click into your listing. So they need to be as good as you can make them. Now, you don't need anything fancy. Believe me, I did a vlog a few weeks ago where I showed you how I do my product photography. I'll link it somewhere up here. And you can do it so easily with just good lighting and a phone. That's really all you need. You don't need anything fancy. You know, it does help when you do have you know, the nicer equipment. Sometimes I have some soft boxes that I use, but really the key to good photos is making sure your light is really good. You're taking a clear picture of the product, and it looks exactly or as close to as you can get it to look in real life as it does on the picture. Because if you put a picture up and when the item comes, it doesn't look anything like the picture, that is going to gain you some complaints. So those are my top tips for pictures. Honestly, photography has been the bane of my life when it comes to my business for the longest time. And when I just simplified my whole system, just making sure I have a good light and my product looks good, it kind of just made it less pressured. I didn't need all these fancy equipment to make my pictures nice. Just clear, well lit pictures that just show the product, that aren't too busy. You don't need like loads of professional setups or anything like that. Just a clear picture of what you are selling. But it is probably the most important step when it comes to Etsy, because that picture is what's going to bring the customer into your store and make a purchase. So my next tip on selling on Etsy is to try and research your SEO. SEO stands for search engine optimization, and it is what basically boosts your picture, your listing into the top pages of Etsy so people can find you. Now, I'm not an expert on SEO, and I'm still learning how to do this. So my advice is to check out Sam from Squeak and Shout's channel. She really knows her stuff when it comes to Etsy and SEO, and I have been taking my cues from her. So I will try and leave her link in the description so you can go and check her out. She has freebies and courses that you can take on SEO, and since implementing some of the steps that she has suggested, I have seen an increase in my own SEO. Basically she will teach you how to write good titles and descriptions and inviting your customers in to your listings, which is what you want. So, you know, just check her out. She's lovely. So yeah. So the next thing I want to talk about is your packaging and your community. Although Etsy is a great way to find individual customers, you really want to make those customers come back to your store or build a community around those customers. So what I would say to do is figure out your packaging strategy. So I have, let me show you, a thank you card that fits my brand, has information on the back and my social media channels, with an invite to tag me on social media and show me your products. This is how I get people to come away from Etsy and into my community. I picked my social media platform that I prefer to use, which is Instagram for me. It can be Facebook, Twitter, any other social media. I prefer Instagram, and around that I have built my community of people who are returning customers, or just, you know, friends as well. I've made so many friends in this community on Instagram alone. So yeah, packaging and social media. So your packaging is, when people buy on Etsy, they know they're buying handmade, they know they're buying from small businesses because they know what Etsy is about, but the way you present your products is really important. So my favourite bit is packaging people's products because I like to make it feel like a little present. So I will use like tissue paper, my nice branding and stickers and all sorts, and I like to throw in freebies occasionally as well. I do have videos all about how I package my orders on my channel. If you check out my studio vlogs, you can find out how I package, what materials I use and all sorts. But yes, really important to try and build a community of people outside of Etsy too. A mailing list is another great idea. I have a mailing list, so when you're on my Instagram, if you click the link in my description, it opens up and it takes you to all the various places you can find me. One of them says free stuff. So if you click to get the free stuff I offer, you sign up to my mailing list, you get access to my free Google Drive full of goodies, and that is one way I personally build my mailing list. So when I have a new product come out, I will send it to my mailing list and then they click through to my Etsy. It's great. What we're going to talk about next is free shipping. This is something, a tip I got from Sam from Squeak and Shout, and the day I did it, my whole Etsy changed. So I was charging my product price plus shipping to the UK for the longest time, and the day I switched my prices around and added my shipping onto the product price and then went to free shipping, I saw such a big influx of orders. People like the word free. As a shopper, I know I will always pick something that is a free shipping over paying for shipping. There is something in my brain that just tells me I don't want to pay for shipping. Even though I know as a business person that people are adding on the shipping price to the product, it doesn't bother me. I would still go over and buy anything that is free shipping over something that isn't. So if I feel that way as a shopper, that is something I'm going to implement in my store because that's how I feel, and I think that's how a lot of other people feel as well. So yeah, I really recommend shipping your stuff for free in your own country. Now if you are out of the UK, there is a price for shipping because you can't really afford to add it onto your products when it costs, say, £4 odd to ship to America. But the free UK shipping is a big game changer when it comes to Etsy, and I really recommend that you do that today if you can. Also, if you do take the last tip on building a community, when you switch to free shipping, you can make a post on your social media saying, oh my god, there's free shipping on my store for those in the UK or wherever you live, and people will go and check out your store. That's what happened to me. I went, oh my god, there's free shipping on my site, and I got about 5 orders that evening. People love free shipping, guys, so that is a great tip to try and implement. So next up is we're going to touch on customer service and trends. These are two things that are smaller little steps you can take but do have a difference. When you go onto Etsy, you can check out their blog, and on their blog they will tell you what the top trends are for that time of year. A while back there was a big unicorn trend, so if you can implement unicorns into the stuff you do, then you are gonna attract more customers, because that was what is on trend at that time. So finding out what's trending at different times of the year, especially around holidays, is a great idea, because getting those into your shop is really going to give you a boost up the rankings. Especially if your SEO is on point 2, you're going to be like the top of the searches, and everybody wants that. Customer service wise, always reply to your messages if you can. There are certain times where I would say don't reply to your messages, and that's if they aren't very nice ones. Sometimes I do get the odd message of people saying that they don't like my products, or you know, trying to troll me, and I don't reply to them. I just report them to Etsy. But if somebody has a question, and even if you can't answer that question, always reply and just say, I'm really sorry, I don't do that. Or you can try another shop. If you have friends that do, you know, business, and you can direct them to another shop, that's always a nice thing to do. But yes, in talking to your customers is so vital. If they get a feel for who you are as a business, and that is someone who replies to messages and is kind and will offer advice, then those are the people that are going to come back to your shop. Nobody likes anybody who is rude. And last but not least, and probably one of the biggest tips you can do to boost your Etsy sales, is to fill out your About Me section. I see a lot of shops that don't fill out the About Me section. As a shopper, when I go to someone's shop and I really like what I see, I go to the About Me section to find out more about them and see where I can find them on social media. So having your About Me section is really important, because it gives you a space to connect with your customer on another level. So you can then say, oh hey, this is who I am, this is how old I am, this is how many kids I have, this is how my business started. Anything. It's a way for you to tell your story, connect with your customer, get them into your store, and get them to find you on your social media too. It's a really, really important step. So if you haven't got your About Me section filled in, please do it, because there are so many people out there who will go and look for it, and actively look for it as well. And if there is nothing there, there is nothing to connect with your customers. So yeah. So those are my Etsy top tips. I hope that they are somewhat helpful for you. If you have any more questions, please don't hesitate to leave me a comment, or come and find me on Instagram, or check out my Patreon page, because that is where you will find me the most. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. I'll see you next time.